In this video series, we're going to go over how to set up a sales page using WordPress. Now, there are several reasons you may want to use WordPress to create a sales page. First of all, WordPress is like search engine candy. The search engines really like things built with WordPress. Secondly, there are a lot of functions you can add by way of plugins using WordPress. And thirdly, if you don't know anything about designing a web page, it's really easy to do with WordPress. And I'm going to show you how to take a basic theme, just change a few lines of code, and it's very simple. I'll show you right where to do it and what you need to put in there. And then you'll be ready to just type in your sales copy, and you have a sales page that's very search engine optimized and looks professional. Now, the sales page we're going to create is going to look something like this. Okay, so it'll look basically like this, but it's going to be built over WordPress. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to do is install WordPress. Now, there's a couple ways to do that. You can use the files that you see right here, or you can use Fantastico if it's included with your web hosting package. In Fantastico, there's a place where you can do a two-click install just by filling out a couple things. But I'm just going to show you quickly how to do it here. So we're going to download this, which is the most recent version. We'll download it in zip format and we'll save it into a working folder on our desktop here. Okay, so we'll just save it here. Okay, and of course you're going to need web hosting and a domain name. I'm going to assume that you already have those things and that you're ready to upload your files. Okay, so here is the file we just downloaded. Now what we're going to do is we're going to unzip it. I have a program called 7-Zip installed that you can get for free. Okay, so you can use 7-Zip if you want. Just do a search on 7-Zip and install it. Now there's also Extract All here, and you can just extract them with the Windows built-in extraction tool. So we'll just do that. It takes a minute here to get that done. Okay, so at this point, once we have that done, we need to upload these files. Now to do that, you can use a program called FileZilla, which you can download for free as well. It's an FTP client, and here's what it looks like here. So on the left side is where you navigate to find your files. On the right side is going to be where you hook up to your server. Okay, so to hook up, you just put your host name in here, which is your domain name. So you registered a domain name at GoDaddy or Namecheap or wherever you register it. And that's going to be what goes in here. Okay, and then when you set up your hosting account to attach to your domain name, you get a username and password from your hosting account, and you put all that information in here. And then that will connect you up to your server. It also has a site manager, so you can put your sites into the site manager, and then you can just go into the site manager and connect to them. Okay, so on this side is my WordPress files that I've unzipped. So if I go inside here, there's a directory called WordPress, and that's what I want to upload. Okay, I have all this other stuff in here that doesn't matter right now, so we're going to upload this. And that uploads all of our WordPress files. Now WordPress runs on a database, so we're going to need to go set up a database for WordPress to run from. Okay, so what we do is we log into our hosting control panel. I'm going to show you how to do it with cPanel hosting because that's what I use, but you will always have a way to create a MySQL database if you're using Plesk or whatever different type of control you're using for your hosting account. You just need to create the database and the username in there that attaches to your database. Okay, so here's how we do it with cPanel. Okay, so this is my cPanel account, and there's lots of things I can do in here. But what I want to do is go down to Databases, right here. And then I'm going to use the database wizard. So we go into here. Okay, then we give it a database name. Now there's a extension on the front here, and that is just how it identifies your files for your account. Okay, so I'm going to call this SPGE. You can call them whatever you want, so I go to next step. Okay, and then we need to set up a username. I'm just going to use the same username as I did for the database. You can use anything you want here though. And then we need a password. Now, it's a good idea to use the password generator and then just copy this, open a notepad session, and paste it in here. Okay, that's so we have it later. Click that I have copied this somewhere safe and use password. Now we have a very strong password. Okay, so now we're going to create the user. Now what we need to do is select all privileges, go to next step. Okay, and now we're done. Okay, so here we have the name of our username, so let's copy that over to our document here. Okay, so there's our username and password, and then our database name's up here. So if you use a different username, it's good to keep your username and password together so you can tell the difference, and then put your database up top here in your notes. Okay, so here's our database name. Alright, now our database is now created, so we're done with that part. Now let's go check on our upload process, and we're still going here. We'll just wait for this to finish. Okay, now it's all done. So what we want to do, we could have done this on the other side, but let's rename WordPress. And we'll call it, you can call it whatever you want. I'm just going to call it Sales Backend. Now the way we're going to set this up is we're going to have the WordPress install files in this sales backend, and we're going to end up with our home page on the root of the domain. So when you type in the domain name, the sales page comes up. Now this is just an optional way to set it up. You could also just have your sales page hosted right in here. It's easy to do either way. Okay, so now all we got to do is type in the URL to our WordPress install. Okay, and it comes up. Now we just let it create a configuration file and click Let's Go. Okay, now this is where we're going to put in all of our information. So we go back to our notes that we took here, and here's our database name, so put that in there. And then we copy our username into here. I made them the same, so that's fine. Our password is here. So we'll take that and paste it in there. Next we have our database host. This is usually going to be right, but a way you can tell is to go back to where you set up your databases. In my case, it's Control Panel. Okay, roll down until you find phpMyAdmin and click on that. Okay, now right up top there where I have it highlighted, it says localhost. And that's how you can verify your host. So that's what it needs to be. Okay, so that's right here. Now, change the table prefix. Don't leave the default table prefix in here. What the table prefix is it's a set of characters that goes in front of everything so that you can differentiate different databases within, or different sets of data within the same database. So you could put as many WordPress installs inside this database as you wanted. You just give them different prefixes. Okay, so let's just change that to SP. Click Submit. Okay, and then run the install. Okay, now we give it a site title. Doesn't really matter at this point. We can change it later. So we're going to just say sales page. Okay, username. Don't use admin. Again, this is for security reasons. There are hacks out there. There are programs that hack automatically and look for certain things. Okay, and then you can put your password in here. Okay, now down where it says, well, you're going to have to put your email in here as well because it'll email you your information in case you forget it. And then here, allow my site to appear in search engines. Say uncheck that right now. Now we're going to recheck this later. While we're working on it, we don't want that to be seen. And install WordPress. Okay, so We log in now. Okay, and at this point WordPress is all installed and ready to go. In the next video we're going to start setting up the internals for our sales page.